it's quite involved, but generally the Board of Trustees is in place to cast a strategic eye over the running of the charity, and then you have below the Board of Trustees, you've then got the Chief Executive and the leadership team who are responsible for the day-to-day running, shall we say, of the charity. So we will also look at the long-term direction of the charity, what provision we need to start looking at. You know, what, for example, we're going to start to look at the provision that we'll need to make for some of the people that we support in later life, because time is marching on. You know, we started off as a school, and suddenly the children are adults, and suddenly those adults are heading into later life. So that needs to be looked at, for example. So we need to plan for that. So it's a long-term planning of the direction of the charity, really.
We used to meet on the 4th floor of a solicitor's office, and there was no table, so we all used to sit round in a circle with our notepads on our knees, scribbling away, and the meetings would go on till after midnight. Now we're a bit more structured, and we don't like doing midnight anymore. I can remember.
It's down to my superb chairmanship. Thank you.
Yeah. But I also know that we started off as a very small society, and now we're a major regional player. We have hundreds of employees and looking after many, many dozens of people with autism. And you can't do that with just goodwill. You have to be very, very organised and very professional about it. Well, setting up a number of different services in the last 27 years. We set up a further education unit, buying a property in Kelvedon many years ago, because Dewscroft at the time had become too big. You had a range of children from the age of 3 up to 19. So we had to split off the teenagers and move them down the road a bit. That was a good thing to have done. And then Dewscroft itself, which was originally an old townhouse and not really suitable as a school or a residential home either, we moved lock, stock and barrel here to 8 Ash Green, and that was a real highlight. That was an incredible project. I can still remember signing the loan forms for it, and there was a lot of zeros on it. And then we have other services where we've got a diagnostic service. We've had lots of therapists and clinical psychology, all the extra things that we never had available to us when our son was diagnosed.
But no, as a charity, I think what I'm proudest of is that we're still here. That, you know, to have provided 50 years of care to people I think is an achievement that we should all be proud of. And we've done that through ups and downs, recessions, you know, plenty of money being around, no money being around. So yes, I think we should be proud of that.
So
yeah, in terms of the achievements, one of the things that should be said is that the school now has a good Ofsted rating, and that's thanks to Louise and her team who've worked tremendously hard to ensure that we comply across the board. I think it's a tremendous achievement.
With the different regulatory bodies that we answer to, we have to make sure that we get it right every single time. There is no room for slippage, because we're dealing with people's lives here. It is that important.
I think it's quite true, because the regulations have changed so much over the years, and it's so important to be outward looking all the time, to see changes coming down the track and to adjust to them, and to hold everybody to high standards. No doubt about that. No doubt about that. Because that way we can look after not just the people that we support, but also the staff. Because the staff are vital. And the staff do a fantastic job.
From somebody who, when he was originally at school, was deemed to be possibly one of the best attuned coming out at the end, but in his teens he went completely haywire and needed 3-to-1 to control him, and went through different illnesses, having him hospitalised. We've nearly lost him twice, but thank heavens the staff here and at the adult services managed to bring him round again. But he's at the stage now where he can go on holiday and he can enjoy himself. He's calm, he's got activities, he's non-verbal, but his quality of life is unbelievable. Now, I would point to that and say that that's success.